In this video, I'm going to break down how to get access to your very first business credit card. So whether you're just starting from scratch, you're brand spanking new, or if you're starting over again and you just opened up a brand new business, this is the exact steps that I would follow if I were starting from scratch all over again. Now, there's two pieces to the business credit card application. The first piece is going to be the business owner, which in this case, if you haven't realized it yet, it's going to be you. And then the second piece or the second half of the business credit card application is going to be the business's information. And so let's start at the top. The business owner information that you're going to want to get familiar with so that you can go through this process is a couple of different factors, a couple of different pieces of data that I want to share with you. First is going to be basic information like your name, your address as the business owner, not the business's address, your address as the business owner, your phone number, your email, just like the basic things that you would typically see even if you were applying for a personal credit card. Now, there is something to be said about, and I want to hit this early in the video because I'm sure you're thinking about it. There is something to be said about when you're applying for a business credit card. Am I using my social security number? Because that's going to be a question on the application, or am I using the EIN? You're going to put both on there. But I also want to address the second question, which most likely is coming up because we deal with this day in, day out with clients. And that's the following. I don't have business credit like just yet. And so am I going to use my personal credit, or are they going to just like pull business credit out of thin air because I haven't built it just yet? The financial institutions, whether you're looking at a bank or a credit union, they are going to use your personal credit. And so the best way that I can explain it is you are co-signing on behalf of your baby, which in this case, your baby is going to be your business because it can't stand on its two feet just yet, proverbially speaking. And so I want you to think of the example of if maybe you had a parent that co-signed for you when you really wanted a car and maybe your credit wasn't there just yet. You had just gotten your first job. They went in there, they co-signed for you because mom and dad, or maybe an older brother, older sister, or sibling, they wanted to do you a solid. And so they co-signed for you. So they put their credit on the line, or vice versa. Maybe if you had a child that you were helping out, you're putting them through school, or that you wanted to help them get access to their first piece of real estate, maybe their first primary residence, you co-signed for them so that they can actually secure that loan. Now, everyone's on the hook at that point. Like, I want to be clear about this. It's going to be the same thing here. But the thing with this is that if you're already going into business thinking that you're going to fail and like, I don't know how I'm going to pay this back, then you probably don't want to be in a business and you don't want to keep watching this video because you're obviously watching a business channel for business content, which means that you, my friend, are a risk taker. And if you're a risk taker, that means that you are okay with taking the risk for your business because you see yourself coming out on the other side. So again, you're personally guaranteed, which means you're PGing on behalf of your business. That means that God forbid the business default, it goes under, you're left on the hook to pay that bill back. That's what it means to personally guarantee, even though you're using the EIN to build the business credit with, because you're still building business credit for your LLC or for your company as a whole. Now, there is one more metric that I want to mention on here, and that is going to be the credit score needed if you're going to apply for a business credit card. I have on there 680. If I'm being real with you, in this current economy, to be safe, you really want to be closer to a 720, which is what I have here. Can you still get access to a business credit card under that 720, 680 threshold, closer to 650? Possibly, but I wouldn't want to waste a hard inquiry, meaning I wouldn't want to waste a credit check. And so I would actually want to be closer to this zone right here. Now let's move on into the nitty gritty of what makes up a business, of what makes up the business credit application side. At the top, we have the business structure. Now, this is going to be totally dependent on you and the type of structure that you want to set up. So you have an LLC, you have a corporation, or you have a sole proprietorship. Most people that we work with, they either use an LLC or a corporation. So that's a C Corp, an S Corp. Sole props, if you're going to use one, but it doesn't build like real business credit. And so if you're starting from scratch, I would focus my energy on an LLC or on a corporation, whether it's an S Corp or a C Corp. You, by the way, can set this up. We help clients set this up all the time, but if you wanted to set up for free, you can set it up on your Secretary of State's website. I'm in Florida. So if you're in Florida, you would just use Sunbiz. You just Google Secretary of State's website, and then you would just find, or Department of State's website, and then you just go ahead and find whatever address or whatever website that is for you, and then you would just go ahead and start plugging in your information. You pay the fee, and you'd set it up. But when you go to set it up, this is where the magic happens. You're going to want to set up, once you open up your business structure, you're going to want to set up a federal tax ID, which is the EIN. This is the employer identification number. I want you to think of your LLC, again, for the purpose of the example that we're using, and you're looking at the federal tax ID, which is the EIN, as the social for the LLC. And so this is what you're going to use to build business credit. This is what you're going to use when you get approved for your first business credit card to start building out the age of your business credit reports. And this is like your very first step. Like, we're pushing that first rock over the ledge. That's going to put us in the right position to start building business credit and start to scale the capital so that we can redeploy this back into business ventures. So we can redeploy this back into inventory. We can redeploy this back into a deal, whatever it is that you're looking to get capital for. You can easily get one of these right on the IRS website. So right onto irs.gov. It's totally free. Little pro tip is you can use, if you're using like a third-party servicer to set up your business structure, you can use that third-party site. So if you're using like a Busy, you can use them. It's an extra fee, but they'll go ahead and apply for your EIN. So you just get everything in one-stop shop. If you just don't want to go through the hassle of just like an extra step, which is an extra 5 minutes of your time, then you would just take that. But if not, irs.gov. Next up, you're going to get asked on the business credit card application, what is your industry that you are involved in, specifically your NAICS code. Now, this right here is going to be a 6-digit number. Running out of room here. This is going to be a 6-digit number that's going to go on the business credit card application. If you have a brand new LLC, then you most likely haven't filed your taxes just yet, because this industry code also goes on your taxes on Schedule C, which is on the top right-hand corner, which is when you go to file your taxes. That's the LLC, like profit and loss section. Your CPA would know about this, but I would still highly advise that you get acquainted with this process, because it just makes you a better business owner all around. And so the industry code is how the bank, the financial institution, is going to categorize your business. Is it consulting? Is it management? Is it real estate investing? Is it crypto? God forbid it's crypto, because if it is, they're automatically gonna like blacklist you. Just like a pro tip for you that you can take to the bank, no pun intended. Is it real estate fix and flip? Is it education? And so you're going to want to sit down before you apply for that business credit card, and you're going to want to think, what industry am I actually in? Because I'm like future pacing it for you, and I'm predicting the future, that when you go to get asked this can make or break how much you get approved for, or if you get approved at all, because not every industry is seen as an industry that banks and financial institutions want to partner with. And so if you wanted to, again, take it a step further, you could walk into your bank and you could ask them, hey, what are the most common types of businesses that you've been approving for credit over the last 90 days, over the last, in 2025, or if we're headed into 2026 and it's 2026 already, and you're watching this in the first couple months of 2026, what are those businesses? And then from there, you can start to think, before even submitting a credit application, okay, they said that it's education, they said it's consulting, they said it's infotech. I'm in infotech, we're good to go. I'm in real estate. Do I have to restructure my business, or do I have to look for another bank altogether? Next piece is going to be your business address. Don't confuse this with the business owner's address. However, there are 3 types of addresses that you can use on your business credit application. You have if you're a home-based business, you have the home address of you, the business, and the business owner. Some people like to use that. I've seen it work with getting approved for a business, something as simple as a business credit card. But some people get weirded out with having the information out there, which may not be the best bet for you. If you don't want your information out there, then don't use your home-based business address for setting anything up or applying for credit. The last two, though, or the second and third option is maybe going to suit you better, which is going to be a brick and mortar office. So this is a physical location. So it's exactly what it is. It's like you drive to the warehouse, you drive to the storefront, you're using that address. If you already had that set up, fantastic. Just use that as the business address. Or if, again, you're just starting out, and I totally get it, I don't have the capital for a storefront, or I don't have a brick and mortar set up just yet. I want to save myself a couple $1,000 from having to pay a lease or from having to buy a property. Totally get it. There's something called a virtual office address that you can use. And it's anywhere between, gosh, for a virtual office address, I'll say it's anywhere between 50 to, depending on where exactly you buy it, anywhere between 50 to right around $200, give or take. And that's a month. And that means that you're renting out a virtual office address. So you're just renting out the location of that building. So when a bank, a financial institution goes to look at that address, it looks like it's a legit brick and mortar without the big cost of a brick and mortar, if you know what I mean. Business phone number, I would highly recommend that you get yourself a business phone number. You can use your own company. So if you have Verizon, if you have AT&T, you can ask them what type of bundles they have. Again, a little pro tip there is that ask them if they report that credit line. So if you're renting out, or let's say if you go to lease or finance a tablet on behalf of the EIN, ask them if they report that to your business credit report. You're getting like a two for here. You're getting a business phone line, and you're also getting the credit reporting onto your business credit report, which actually helps you build business credit. So again, you're killing two birds with one stone here. But if you maybe don't have a business phone line, I know that some people use Freedom Voice. You just want to make sure that it's not a sketchy number. So some numbers get screened as scam likely. And so you'll want to do a nice reverse search on the business phone number just to make sure that it's a legit line and not one that they just gave you like a burner account, because they tend to do that. It's about $20-$30 a month, give or take, to have your business phone number, but it's super worth it, especially as you're dialing in your business and you're making sure that it's structured properly. Toward the end of the business credit card application, you're going to have this section right here, which is revenue and expenses. Now, if you're just starting out, then like, let's address the elephant in the room. Irv, I don't have any expenses yet. At least I don't know if like I've calculated them, but I definitely don't have any revenue just yet. There's something known as projected. You have projected revenue, and then you have essentially like the expenses that are going to be attached to that projection that you're making. For the love of God, like in everything that's good, do not, like, if there's anything that you take from this video, do not overinflate these numbers. I know we want to be highly optimistic when we're starting a business, and I know we want to make a lot of money, but if we're starting a business, don't out the gate put that your business is generating $10 million. Don't out the gate put that it's going to be a monthly expense of $1 million. That'll get your stuff denied. Like before you even hit submit, like all of a sudden you get a 404 message on the screen and you're wondering what the heck happened. It's because of that. You want to be optimistic, but you also want to be conservative. And so a little due diligence that I would tell you and advise on is do your homework specifically in your city, in your town. And this is something that we do with our clients all the time, especially ones that are just starting out that don't have any revenue just yet. We'll go ahead and see, okay, depending on where you're at, let's say it's a landscaping company, and this landscaping company is located in the middle of LA, and it's their first year in business. I can tell you from experience, like simple math, economics, that landscaping company in the middle of LA, Los Angeles, is going to gross like revenue totally different from a landscaping company in the middle of Wyoming, or a landscaping company in the middle of like a town that no one's ever heard of in North Carolina, or even here in Florida, right? There's a bunch of towns that no one's ever heard of here in Florida. I say that because if you just go and you just start kind of like going into these different groups, these forums, or just, hey, let me just Google like to see what the average landscaping company makes. And again, I'm just using landscaping as an example. It could be whatever your business is. Let me just put that. You end up shooting yourself in the foot because banks have internal algorithms of what they know your specific industry, again, based on the industry code they selected, what that business is projected to make in the first 12 months, in the first 24 months. And so if you're going to spend any time before submitting your business credit application, it's going to be in this piece right here, because I would much rather understand what my projected revenue is and what the projected expenses is than going in blindly. And then lastly, I had this as a bonus originally, but I said to myself, you know what? No, I think that this is something that I would definitely wish I had earlier starting out when I first started my business. And that is this piece right here, which is a bank account. Just to show you how important it is, I am going to put two asterisks next to it and I'm going to underline it not once, but twice. That's how important this is. It's important for two main reasons. Number one is you start building out a ledger or essentially a log of your business transactions, specifically on the business side. So you start to have that nice separation between your business and you, the person. So now you have a nice cushion, meaning you don't pierce the corporate veil, which is the whole purpose of you starting a business. So God forbid you get sued, they can only come after what's on the business. They can't come after you. That's number one. And then the second is some banks and financial institutions, they actually don't let you apply for any type of business credit cards, whether it's a secured card, whether it's an unsecured card, whether it's a business line of credit, vehicle financing, whatever it is, unless you have a business bank account with them already established. And so if you're going to need one eventually, you might as well get one out the gate. Now, what I like to typically do is I like to bank if I'm just starting out with maybe a financial institution that I've already been working with on the personal side. So if I've already been banking with maybe a local credit union on the personal side, I'll go ahead and open up a business bank account there. If I've been banking with a bigger bank like a Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, I'll open up a business bank account there just because they already have a good portion of my history on the personal side, and it actually makes the approval process a heck of a lot easier. So, in closing, this is exactly what I would do if I was just starting out with a brand spanking new business, or if I was just starting over all over again. Like this exact process, this exact model has worked out just for me. But for a lot of our clients that are just starting out, that are looking to get that first win under their belt, use it. Come back to this video and let me know how it works.